Hello everyone, welcome to the Study Abroad webinar series. Thank you for joining us today. We are pleased to host this session, MSc FinTech and Finance and Investment in collaboration with the University of Bristol Business School. We are honored to have Carol, School International Officer, Nikhil Sapre, Program Director, and Lee Tren, Program Director, MSc Finance and Investment. They will introduce the school's cutting-edge MSc Financial Technology and MSc Finance and Investment programs, sharing insight into curriculum highlights, career pathways, and unique advantages of studying at one of UK's leading institutions. The students at University of Bristol Business School are guided by experienced industry professionals and have access to cutting-edge resources, creating an environment that bridges academic learning with real-world applications. The school is internationally renowned for its academic excellence and vibrant student community. After the presentation, there will be a Q&A session where the representatives will address your questions on studying at Bristol. So please get ready to be inspired. Let's dive into what makes University of Bristol an excellent choice for your academic journey. Without the further delay, I'll now hand it over to you, Carol. Over to you, Carol.
Thank you, Rahul. Hopefully you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for this session. So welcome to the webinar called From India to the World of Finance, MSc FinTech and MSc Finance and Investment at the University of Bristol. Well, my name is Carol Adrianson. Thank you for the introduction, Rahul. And I'm really pleased to be here to cover the agenda for this session. So today we will be discussing a welcome and introduction to the University of Bristol. We will be that will be followed by the MSc Finance and Investment taster lecture and program structure. And after that, it'll be the MSc FinTech at Bristol taster lecture and program is structured. And as Rahul mentioned, there'll be some time for Q&A. I wanted to start to just pinpoint where Bristol is located. So we are in the southwest of the UK, 90 minutes from London, and Bristol actually has an international airport. So many of our students do some traveling within the UK and also into Europe. And further afield as well. Bristol, an independent city with soul, is very multicultural. There's a community from 187 countries, and we also have a lot of green spaces and open spaces. So there's more than 400 parks and green spaces around the city. And we've been voted a happiest city in the UK, and that was according to the Institute for Quality of Life 2024. Bristol, at Bristol, we stand out on the world stage. We are 51st in the world according to the QS World University Ranking 2026, and we are ranked 8th in the UK. Also, 26 of our subjects are in the World 100, and we're the 5th most targeted by top UK employers. So at Bristol, we are continually improving in terms of the QS ranking, and we are getting closer to being in the top 50. Now onto the campus. So a campus in the heart of the city. Our campus has our different buildings dotted around the city centre. So it's a very walkable campus with beautiful buildings, as well as very new builds around the campus. So it also has cutting edge facilities with different type of new investment that happens in the university. For those students who are interested in scholarships, we have the Think Big scholarships at Bristol. So these are offered at the graduate level as well as postgraduate level. And the university is committing £5 million that will be available for entry in 2026. And the difference with our Think Big scheme is that students also have access to the exclusive Think Big development program. In terms of the career service, our students have access to year-round events. There's different career fairs and workshops. And after you finish your studies, you'll have access to the support within the following 3 years. At the university, and something that our fantastic academic colleagues will be touching on in a moment, there's plenty of a strong university links with industry, which allows different opportunities for students, such as professional mentoring. And this also, in terms of a startup, or if you have entrepreneurship type of ambitions, this also helps to set up your own business. Our business school is rooted within one of the most prestigious and respected universities in the world. And we're looking to make a positive impact on the economy, society, and the planet. And the university is opening a new campus. This will be Temple Quarter Enterprise Campus, which will be opening in September 2026. So it'll be the home for the business school and also the Faculty of Science and Engineering and the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship as well. Okay, that's all from me with this introduction. And I will now pass you to Dr. Lin Tran to talk to you about the MSc Finance and Investment.
Thank you very much, Carol, for the introduction. So my name is Ling Chuan. I am a lecturer in finance at the University of Bristol Business School. I'm also a program director of MSc Finance and Investment. Let's me sharing my screen, and then I thought you to what I have for today's session. Please let me know if you have any issue viewing my screen. Okay, so I trust everybody can see the screen that I'm sharing now. Right.
Not actually, we cannot see the screen that you're showing.
Oh, let me try it again. Screen to share.
It's visible now, yes. Thanks.
Just bear with me. Let's see if I have any PowerPoint slideshow. Yeah, it should be this one. Can you see the?
Yes, I can see. Yeah.
So are you seeing my my word screen, or the ones that study the full slide in presentation mode?
Yes, yes.
So, I think I have some issue with this. Yes. So just to confirm again, are you seeing my slide in presentation mode screen, right? Not my Word 5 way.
Yes, I think it's in presentation mode.
Yeah, thank you very much for the confirmation. Yeah. So I will start with my slide now. Just I think just some issue with this panel, and I think it's difficult to view, right? Okay. Okay, so I will first I will give an overview of my presentation today. I will give first I will give a test lectures about one of a typical topic in finance, which is about risks and return, and then I will give you a brief overview about MSc Finance and Investment information. So let's begin with the test lectures. So I would like you to look at my question on the screen at the moment. Imagine if you could invest in just one single asset. Then which one would you choose from the list that I'm having on the screen at the moment? Gold, stocks, bonds, Bitcoin, or real estate? So could you please type in the chat what you have for my question? If you could only invest in one asset, what would you choose? So we leave about 1 or 2 minutes for everyone to type in your answer. Carol, you said gold. We're still waiting for the response from everyone in our webinar. I think so far I have just seen Carol's response. It seems that it's so difficult for everyone to make up your mind. So just to provide you some information for you to make up your mind about, if you could only invest in one asset, what would you choose? Then this chart shows how different assets perform between 2013 and 2020. Yeah. So I trust that you have your own observations about these this charts about what asset class best was performing. But I think if we look in it for a little bit more, we can so see that the winners change every year. So for example, gold was one of the weakest in 2013. Just down below, if you look at this column on the left, then we have gold at the bottom in 2013 with negative 29% in terms of return. But then it's one of the strongest in 2020 on the top right corner. Gold is 21, gives you a 21.9% year to date in 2020. So the same story goes for stocks, bonds, and commodities. They all take turns. They have their best year and they have their worst years. And the key lesson here is no asset class stay the winner forever. And I think it's very hard to predict who won't be on top the next year. And let's zoom in on the last few years from 2020 to 2024, just follow what we have in the previous chart. Then I think we can all notice a big circle here around Bitcoin, which wasn't in the charts in the previous slide. So if we look at Bitcoin, what can we see? In 2020, it gained more than 300% in terms of return for investor. But by 2020, it has lost about 2/3 of its value. So in 2020, that is a negative 65% for the investor. Okay. And before it bounced back again in 2024 with over 121%. And if we look at to other asset class, we compare Bitcoin with bonds or gold. They don't make headlines, right? So for gold or bonds, they don't make headlines, but they are sort of like steadier compared to Bitcoin. And I hope that we all agree about the lesson here. It's very simple. the high returns usually comes with higher risks, as we can see with the ups and downs of Bitcoin in this chart. So what happened if I put the two charts next to each other? What do we see? And we can see that throughout from 2013 to 2024, the winners and losers keep rotating. And if I ask you one question, could you have predicted each year's top performer? I guess the answer is probably not, because we can clearly see from both charts, the winners and losers keep rotating. And that's why diversification matters in investment. Means spreading investment across different asset class will help you smooth out the ups and downs instead of betting everything on one asset. So move on to, so let's bring this idea about risk and return closer to home. Here, we are comparing two major stock markets indices, the Nifty 50 in India and the FTSE 100 in the UK. This chart has been built based on the monthly indexes value from 2013 to 2025. And because Nifty 50 and FTSE 100 are on different range, so the data has been normalized. Both are scaled to start at 100 in 2013, which is the point down here. And as you can see, we can see that for Nifty, which is the highlighted in orange here, we can see that by 2025, the Nifty 50 had grown more than 300%, while FTSE 100 grew about like around 45%. That's reflected their annual growth rates, which is in finance, we calculate the cumulative annual growth rate, which you can see in the legend on the left side, top side corner of the charts. For Nifty 100, it is a cumulative annual growth rate of 11.95%. Meanwhile, the respective figure for FTSE 100 is around 3%. Okay. So, so in summary, I have this table which shows some of the statistics or the metrics that can help us to compare. As we are an investor, we are wondering whether we should invest in Nifty 50 Indian market or UK market. All right, so if we look at this table, the cumulative annual growth rate you can see in the chart in the previous line, around 3% for FTSE 100, and around 12% for Nifty 50. What about the annual return? The annual return for FTSE 100 is around 5.5 to 6%. Whereas for the Nifty 50, it is 13.88%. That is a year-on-year return average. But then that's only, so far we have only talked about return. But then the other side of that is what the risks that the investor exposed to when they invest in these two indices. And if you look at the last row of this table, that gives us the volatility, which is the metric to reflect how risky when investor invest in asset is. And we calculated based on the standard deviation of the year-on-year returns. For FTSE 100, that is around 14 to 15%, whereas the same figure for Nifty 50 is around 33.7%. Okay. So I hope that the chart and this summary has done a good job in conveying a very clear message that India has been a very high growth, but more volatile markets compared to UK markets that's represented by the FTSE 100. The UK has been slower but steadier. So this is a classic risk return trade-off. You want, as an investor, if you want to get higher return, we are exposed to higher level of risk. Okay, and that led me to some of the closing thoughts after we have looked at the chart about performance of different assets. We look at the performance of the two indices in India and then in the UK. Then finance is not about predicting the next winner, but building a resilient portfolios that have us to get the returns through different cycle, through the ups and downs and different developments in the market. And higher returns often come with higher risk, and the real skill lies in balancing both through diversification. And this balance between risks and returns is at the heart of modern finance, and it's exactly what we prepare you for in the MSc Finance and Investment at Bristol. Yeah. That's the mindset we aim to develop for each out of our students in our F&I program. Yeah. So that's some tester lectures about the risks and returns, which is a very important topic in finance and very important for any investor if they want to look at investing their money in any other kind of asset class. Okay. So now I will move on to provide you with some information about MSc Finance and Investment program and then its structure. So first is some general information about MSc Finance and Investment. This degree is for someone who has finance and accounting and economics background, maybe some technical background as well, like science or engineering or mathematics, and they want to further their knowledge in the field of finance going forward. The program would be of interest to someone who wants to learn about the core aspect of finance to begin with, and then they also want to have option to specialize a little bit towards the end of the degree, and also suitable for anyone who intend to pursue PhD in finance. You will gain a thorough grounding in the core areas of finance, for example, asset pricing, corporate finance, derivatives, financial modeling, and investment management. I won't further talk about this when we come to the structure of the program. So what make our programs unique? One of the very important is one of the key strengths of our programs is that it is taught by professors who are active researchers. Our constant endeavors is to try and bring our research and current ongoing research around the world in finance and economics into our teaching. So at the same time as being active researcher, a bunch of us is also very actively linked with industry practitioners. So study MSc Finance and Investment with us, you will have both the academic rigor and the practical exposure that you probably seek from a specialist finance degree like this one. And you will have an access to an expanding portfolio of optional units to choose from. So one of the attractive features of our degree is the flexibility that our MSc Finance and Investment offers to you. You don't need to enter the program already knowing what you want to specialize in. You have some time to develop your interest. So you develop your interest in the first teaching block. And then once you have done that in the second teaching block, you will get to specialize a little bit by choosing the options that suits your interest, which ranges from derivatives to financial modeling or to investment management or to FinTech, sustainable finance. You will see the structure of own optional unit pool in a moment. So in short, you don't need to make up your mind by the time you're entering the program. However, by the time you have graduated from MSc Finance and Investment, you will have specialized in certain aspects of finance. And having emphasized the rigor, we also focus on practical applications. We do this to encourage you to expose yourself as much as possible through a wide range of financial platform and databases that we have here at University of Bristol. For example, Bloomberg Terminal, Refinitiv, Akins, S&P Capital IQ. We also encourage you to explore those data, and then you may leverage the university license that we have at University of Bristol to have you to get certified at no cost. For example, you can get certified and have Bloomberg Market Concepts through University of Bristol license. We also have give student hands-on experience on trading simulation through partnership with Amplify Me Trading. I won't touch on that in a bit. And then we also have here at Bristol, we also have a dedicated employability support. As Carol have mentioned in the introduction slide, we have the professional liaison network at the university level, which can support you with your career. Basically make you more employable. You can discuss with the professional liaison network, seek help from them about creating CV or cover letter. That network also put together events throughout the year from time to time, and you will be linked to employers, and then you won't be given the opportunities to find information about what employer is looking for, and then that will give you information how to make you stand out when you graduate from this program. And we understand that we are a very international program. So we have graduates who stay on in the UK, and then other graduates to go to other countries. So we offer the mentoring scheme where we can link students up with mentors who are alumni, past graduates, or recent graduates who are now based in different countries and work in different areas of the financial industry. So it doesn't matter where you come from. We have the connections that have you to develop network to whatever your target destination. So here's about a brief structure about our program. We have in the first teaching block, we have 2 core units, which is asset pricing, fundamental of corporate finance, and quantitative methods for finance. And then in the second teaching block, we're starting in January, you will be given the opportunity to choose 3 optional units of your choice. And the range of optional units is presented to you at the moment. We have different optional units to suit your preference. And as an evidence of how we incorporate our research and the research around the world into our program, you can see that one of the example is we have units like financial technology and green and sustainable finance, which reflect the current trend in the financial markets. It's unlikely that you find any established textbook on this field right now, but we have taken the research that's ongoing right now in the world and turning that into these units and presenting that to you as optional units in second semester. So we are really trying to stay at the cutting edge as much as possible. Right, so this is after you finish 2 teaching blocks, you're gonna have to do your dissertation over the summertime. Aside from traditional dissertation, which you work on quantitative analysis, you have an opportunity to work on industry dissertation, where you work on a brief that provided by actual client. That's called industry project. It is available but very competitive. But yeah, that is type of dissertation that concludes your journey here at Bristol if you choose to study with us. Just to give you some brief information about our extracurriculars, we have simulation, we have enhanced case study in teaching, we have lots of career events put together by business school. One of the example of that is the Amplify Me Trading, where you can immerse yourself through a series of simulations in different pathway, markets, banking, and quants. And the simulation is scattered all year round, so you have opportunities to constantly hone your skill. We also send our students to the group university CME group university trading challenge, where you can get your experience trading on derivatives. So we have our teams ready, and then they will start trading in October this year. So that is just some information about our extracurriculars, about our career outcomes. We have students, around 80% of our students employed at graduate level job or answer in PhD, and we have students that's after graduation, they have their role in investment banking world. One of the biggest bank like BNP Paribas or UBS, or like work for big accountancy platform firms like PwC or EY. I think that's all I have for introducing to you MSc Finance and Investment. I know that the decision to study abroad is a very important decision for you. So I would strongly encourage you to find out as much information as possible before making decision. If you have any question, then you feel free to get in touch with me. That's email that's I'm showing on the screen at the moment. I wish you all the best with your choice, and we really look forward to welcoming you to Bristol. Thank you very much. Guess I think I will hand over to Nikhil to introduce his MSc FinTech program.
Great, thanks, Lynn. I'll just screen now. Can you see the screen? Yeah, okay.
Yes, it is visible.
Great, okay. So hi everyone. My name is Nikhil Sapre. I'm the Program Director for Financial Technology, MSc at University of Bristol Business School. I'm also a lecturer in finance, and I will go through the key features of the program. Then I'll also quickly look at the program structure. What are the units covered in the program? I'll provide some statistics and some background on how the program was developed and the motivation behind writing the curriculum. It sort of ties up with the employability avenues for students after graduating from this program. I'll then look at a couple of key topics that are covered in the program and share some testimonials from our past students. So Bristol is there was a government report that came out in 2021, which was the Khalifa Review, and it ranked cities in the UK based on the number of fintech firms that are being set up in those cities, and Bristol was among the top 5. So it's a fast developing fintech hub, particularly in the Southwest, which as a region as well is very conducive for fintech startups. We have a strong research background, which has already been highlighted. Some of the academics that are teaching on the program are heavily involved in related research. It is a multidisciplinary program, so we have academics from the School of Engineering and Computer Science also teaching on the program. Because it is multidisciplinary, we have students from purely business background, and we have students from purely computer science or mathematics or non-business backgrounds such as physics or engineering. So those students that lack or are less aware of the basics of coding, we provide a pre-sessional training, which is about which was 2 weeks until last year. This year we've bolstered it to and made it into a 3-week pre-sessional training, which is a non-credit bearing course that all students attend in the first 3 weeks of the teaching block one, which is the first semester. We have very well developed links with industry. And as has been mentioned, we have the professional liaison network, which works very closely with industry partners. And how that is important for this program, I will touch upon that in a few minutes. Um, the units that are developed for these for this program are bespoke. So the four mandatory units, which I'll discuss on the next slide, have been developed specifically for this program. Um, and we have a couple of optional units as well, which are new and were developed with this program in mind. So um, the assessments are we do have traditional assessments as well, such as exams and coursework, uh, but we try and make it as inclusive as possible. What I mean by that is there are a range of assessments that you will come across in the first teaching block and the second teaching block. So we'll have group assessments, individual coursework, exams, group presentation, individual presentation, and quizzes also, which is on my unit. A lot has been said about the simulation programs and the things like Amplify Me workshops and so on, which are available to our students as well on MSc FinTech. And we have a trading room, which is with a number of Bloomberg terminals in that trading room. So that's what the program looks like. We have quantitative methods, big data, and machine learning in the first teaching block, along with AI, blockchain, and applications. Um, we have an elementary unit which introduces foundational concepts in asset pricing and corporate finance in the first teaching block as well. And this is where the multidisciplinary aspect comes in, because we have students from non business school backgrounds. The foundation needed for the advanced units in TB2 is provided in this unit, which is finance. We then have which is a very unique feature of our program, which is algorithmic trading. And I have a slide on that in a few minutes. I'll cover that. It's a 20 credit unit. It used to be 10 earlier. We've changed it to 20 now. So we have more on portfolio management, as well as the economics of trading, in addition to actually building algorithms. And then we have a number of optional units. The two on the top are newly written, and especially entrepreneurial finance is quite relevant for MSc Financial Technology. So is green and sustainable finance. But by far the most popular option chosen by students over the last 2 years has been financial modeling. We then have the dissertation, which is a 60 credit all year unit. This is what I lead for our program, and it starts in the first teaching block. We have two lectures in the first teaching block, which introduces you to the idea of doing independent research on your own, how to review literature and so on, accessing data, and the basics of data analysis. We have 5 lectures in TB2, which go into specific methods um, uh, using a different programming language apart from Python. And um, we have a small assessment at the end of the TB2 where you do your own mini project before you get to the final dissertation that begins in June. You're going to have 3 months with a supervisor to write your final dissertation, which is a 7,000 word document, and then finish up with a small presentation. Um, Apart from the traditional dissertation, which I just described, we also have the applied project route where students get to work on proprietary data provided by our industry partners. Many of these firms are locally based in Bristol, but we've also had partners from London in the past. Uh, you basically get a brief from the industry partner saying, this is the kind of data we have, this is what we do, and here are a couple of research questions that we would like you to work on. Um, why is it important? Because it's a very important bullet point on your CV, especially if you are a fresher and don't have past work experience. Of course, it has added benefits such as you get to work with non-academics from the industry, which is sort of helps you in communication skills and so on. We have a few projects. I've given a few examples of projects that have been done in the past. There's a company called MACD Trading in based in Bristol, and they came to us with developing algorithmic trading strategies for the crypto market. We had ML applications to the open banking technology. Uh, we also have some, projects with the socio-economic aspect, which is understanding Gen Z consumers' spending behaviors and future predictions for consumer fintech products. That's a very commonly seen brief, which is making projections or building models to come up with reliable predictions. Like I said earlier on, I'll share some statistics on why, which was sort of a motivation for writing this program, was the digital skills gap report that came out in 2021. And it highlighted that there's a huge skills gap, especially to do with IT skills and digital skills. It was a survey which was done across the country, and here are some numbers that came out of the survey. So 83% of the employers say that data skills are very or somewhat important to their company, uh, and 67% consider recruiting suitable talent as a top priority. 77%, which is I think the key figure here, is say they're struggling to recruit new staff. 56% plan to upskill their current staff, and 84% of the employers believe higher education courses can provide solutions to these problems. So the onus of providing these skills lies with the universities, and as I said, which is what drove in us in writing this program to begin with. Here's some more data. Now, this is to do with our program. So if you look at the bar chart in the bottom of the screen on the left, this technology and percentage of total ads we have in 2015 and 2020. So that's the vacancies. FinTech scale-ups and FinTech and tech sector, the vacancies have gone up in 5 years. Same is for business skills and data science, all of which is covered in our program. And you'll be amazed at the percentage of workers saying they don't have a certain set of skills. So we have starting from basic IT skills to analytical mindset, analysis skills, something that is covered in our dissertation and our coursework, knowledge of emerging technology solutions. Our blockchain technology and AI applications unit is more theoretical and covers a lot of conceptual knowledge around these topics. Advanced statistics and programming, we have the quant and big data unit in TB1 and the dissertation unit in TB2, which is on data analysis. So as you can see, this is the based on the Khalifa review and the UK skills gap report in 2021, and there's a huge gap as far as digital skills are concerned. I'll cover a couple of topics that are covered in our program. So the first one, which you will start in week one, TB1, is machine learning. So what is it really? It's quite topical nowadays, and it's been discussed quite widely. All it is really is it's a set of tools to analyze data. We've had a set of tools that we have been using to analyze data, such as statistics or traditional econometric methods. But since the amount of data that we have access to nowadays is growing exponentially, on a daily basis, really. The older methods are not as relevant or useful in analyzing these massive data sets, which is why machine learning methods have been developed. What they are not really based on any theory. So what I mean by that is if I were to take a survey of those who are attending this session and ask them a few questions and hypothesize or theorize that the students who attend sessions on financial technology uh, do get more knowledge on technology and are likely to then sign up to such programs in the future. With machine learning and huge data sets, I do not begin with such an hypothesis. I enter the data into a certain model to make some predictions and wait to see what comes on the other end. So sometimes I may get useful predictions, or I may just classify the data to see how they can be grouped. Or sometimes I don't make much sense of the data. So I'll have to uh, redo my model and be able to recognize patterns better. So the focus mainly is on the output and not on how adequate my model is or how data is fitting the model well. What I'm really concerned about is am I able to make reliable predictions or be able to classify the data better. The other topic that is covered in TB2, which is algorithmic trading. Now, I was surprised to know this, and a couple of years back, that roughly 2/3 of all U.S. stock trades are done using algorithmic trading. What it basically means is that instead of putting in a manual trading order, like you and I would do through our own accounts, these orders are done without any human intervention and are predefined based on certain conditions, such as if a stock were to go to a certain price, sell so and so amount of that stock. This is a very, very basic example of what it means. What is the benefit of doing this? The benefit is, of course, I'm able to make take advantage of these minute pricing movements. So that if there's a small price movement, I'll have to, I can, without human intervention, do that quickly. So because there's no human intervention, there's high speed allowing me to take advantage of these movements. The concerns are it's an unlevel playing field because you need those kinds of systems, the knowledge, uh, which is covered in our unit, which is also called algorithmic trading. And because these are minute price movements, you need access to that kind of capital as well, which is not possible for retail investors or traders. So it's an unlevel playing field. Because it's an unlevel playing field, there is huge potential for market manipulation as well, because it could be driven by fewer people. There are rapid extreme price movements. If few people are doing it, there could be a cascading effect of of if either way, going up or going down. So there was a flash crash in 2010 where for a half an hour the market corrected massively, and then there was a V-shaped recovery within the next half hour. So and then in 2010, this was 15 years ago, it was found later that this was because of automated trades. And then that sort of led to a change in regulation and so on. So that's one of the units that we cover, that we offer in the second teaching block. I'll share a couple of examples of our students, past students. So this is from Kashvi Shah. She was a MSc Financial Technology student in 2023-24. That was our first batch for this program. And she did a applied project. So she went through the competitive process of applying for the project. She was one of the few students who was chosen based on her application. And she shared a few thoughts on what her experience was like. So you can have a read of this. But one of the things that comes out is, of course, engagement with industry partners, non-academic, supervisors, in addition to your academic supervisors, such as myself, for instance, exposed me to different working styles, perspectives, and gave me an experience of working in professional environment and building something that is relevant in the real world. So that's another experience. After she wrote the paper, her dissertation, she also gave a small presentation to her partner. And from what I last know, I think she's working in Bristol as of now. So she was employed after she graduated. This is our student, again, another brilliant student, William Pan, from the same batch. He had the opportunity, again, he was selected to present at a FinTech annual talent showcase, where there's a mixed audience of industry professionals, policymakers, academics, and peers. So students from other universities also attend this, mainly from other universities in the Southwest. And he presented his research on increase in mobile banking and how fintech-based digital lending has impacted financial stability. He is now doing a PhD on a similar topic in University of Bristol on a scholarship, I think. And he's in his first year. He's just about finished his first year now, going into his second year of PhD. It's also teaching on one of the units that we offer on MSc FinTech, and also one unit on BSc Finance. So he's also working as a graduate teacher. So thank you everyone. I hope you got a flavor of what the program is like, and if you have any questions, you can ask them now. I'm happy to take questions via email as well later. So thanks a lot.
Okay. So thank you for the beautiful presentation, Nikhil. This was very insightful for us. So we are now starting the Q&A session. I'll read out the questions from the chat box and you can answer them accordingly. So the first questions that I got from Archana Sharma. What kind of support is available to students during their studies?
Should I take this one, Lynn, or do you want?
I think I have typed in the chat. I say a few points, and Nikhil, if you have anything to add, then please add. So at Bristol, our MSc students are supported by a student success advisor team who act like personal tutors. They're there to guide you with your studies and your well-being. You will also have workshops, drop-ins, feedback to help build your academic skills. And then you have access to specialist finance databases and training. And we have career supports built into our units, and with career advisors, we have employer events and one-to-one guidance in the mentoring scheme and various other events that's organized throughout the year to help you to build your skill to further excel in industry post your graduation. And then beyond that, well-being service and peer networks and the dedicated program staff, we're all there to make sure that you feel fully supported during your time with us. Yeah. So yeah, Nikhil, do you have anything to add to that?
No, that's pretty much covers everything. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So next question is from Ankit. What makes these programs different from traditional finance degrees?
Let me start with FinTech, for instance. Now, as I've mentioned in the program structure, a lot of the topics that are covered in the program across both semesters are not covered in traditional finance degrees. The fast evolving sector and the developments in this fast evolving sector reflect in our curriculum. They reflect in each unit, and the student and the academics teaching on these units were specifically recruited, or they have been with us working on these topics as part of their research. So they read on the topics that they teach. Which sort of helps us being updated about what's happening in the sector and update our curriculum accordingly. So it is quite different from a traditional program. And the algo trading unit, especially, I'm quite proud to say that it is a very unique aspect of our program, taught by two schools in the university, which I don't think is commonly offered elsewhere.
Great, thank you. So the next question is, how do these programs prepare students for global career opportunities?
Can you repeat the question, please, Rahul?
How do these programs prepare students for global career opportunities?
Right. So let me provide just a short answer for that question. As you could see from my presentation for MSc F&I and the Nikhil presentation for MSc FinTech, we have a very robust and rigorous curriculum which provide you with foundational knowledge. But then also suit your your preference in terms of specialized niche that's that you want to further hone your skill on. Our teaching is informed by practice, and then by all the latest development in research, in accounting, in economics, in finance, in the current world. So whatever we teach that has practical relevance, and then it's also integrate the most current trends in the financial market. So I think we are very proud of our program in that sense. And we, as I mentioned in our program, we fully recognize that our programs are international. So we have dedicated support in order to link students. For example, we have the mentoring scheme, which links students to alumni, to recent graduates that have that work in that particular region. So you can start building your network and then ask on sort of question that you want to know about that particular region. So it's not just about India, China, or any other local market. If you have any interest on any market, we have dedicated support for you to connect. So I think from the knowledge point of view, we equip you with the knowledge that you need in order to excel in the global finance context. And also we have you to build network that's help you to success in wherever like regional location that you choose post your graduation.
Thank
So
you, Lynn.
that's
Thank you very
yeah.
much. Yeah. So the next question is from Archana. What scholarship options are available for these programs?
Thank you, Rahul. Yeah, I think I put an answer in the chat. But at Bristol, we have the Think Big scholarship. So these are kind of a scholarship umbrella that offers undergraduate and postgraduate awards. At postgraduate level, we have awards that start at £6,500, going up to £26,000. So at the business school, we don't have a specific awards for these programs, but we certainly encourage students to apply. The business school, in addition to the central Think Big awards that are offered, we last year we included up to 2.5 million on top of what was offered by the university. So we certainly are aware that this is important for our students, especially from India, and we want to support them in this way. So there will be more awards available this year, and we also have the Career Accelerator, and those are £3,000 awards. And just to highlight and emphasize to students that there's also a personal development program that's attached to our Think Big and our Career Accelerator scholarships. So we want our students, as you know, you've heard from Nikhil and from Lynn, to achieve the best that they can, and we want to support them along the way and supporting them in terms of personal and professional development with a personal development program will be supportive of progressing those leadership skills as they grow further.
Thank you very much, Carol. Thank you for covering all the questions. So I have covered all the questions from the chat box. Thank you for answering all the questions so well. So would you like to share any final words with us?
I would just like to highlight a couple of points regarding the careers question. We also run events throughout the year where you are able to meet employers face to face or online. So our students have just joined us last week. Their first teaching week is this week, and they are attending their first careers fair in the first week of October. There will be another careers fair which is online for the international markets sometime later in the October in the same month. So we have such fairs throughout the year that students can attend. And the other point was regarding guest lectures. So we have guest lecturers coming in from the industry, including alumni who are working in the industry, to share their experience and provide tips on how to navigate the job market.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for your valuable time. All the audience, if you have any further questions, please feel free to contact the StudyIn office in India. For more updates, do follow us on our social media handles. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.